How would you describe the relationship between the United States and Saudi Arabia, and what kind of role do you think they can play in a crisis in the Middle East?
I think it's fine right now. It's when I was president, it was great, with capital letters, GREAT, great, and so much respect for the king, so much respect for Mohammed, who's doing so great. I mean, he's really a visionary. He's done things that nobody else would have even thought about. His very long city that he's building, he's really doing something. He's a great guy, and he's respected all over the world.
The guy that Donald Trump is referring to is Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. He did do things that nobody else has ever thought of. He invited an American journalist to the embassy in Turkey and then had his thugs chop him to pieces, dismembered him. I've never seen an American journalist dismembered before. That's the kind of visionary Mohammed bin Salman is. Donald Trump, of course, let him off the hook, and now he says he's a visionary. Another thing Mohammed bin Salman did was he captured the other princes based on potential information the Trump administration might have given him, kidnapped them, held them hostage, and took most of their money, and has set off a fundamentalist rule in Saudi Arabia that is militant and awful and disastrous, and also doesn't listen to Trump or Biden or anyone else. And no, he's not respected around the world. He's one of the most loathed leaders on the planet. But if you're giving Donald Trump and his family money, Donald Trump will respect you. So that leads me to this. Reporting on the Hill, Lauren Irwin says earlier this year, the Trump Organization announced it would be building a Trump Tower building in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia.
Listen, as long as the country's leader is willing to provide cookies for our politicians will provide all sorts of cover for the bad acts and in some cases atrocities that are carried out by these leaders. And hey, at least it's a Muslim leader in this case.
Yeah, that gives me no relief or comfort at all.
Obviously.
And so the Trump Tower scam is a great scam because that's not just giving campaign contributions. That's saying we are going to license your name and we will give you whatever we think is fair for that license of your name on that building. That's just the foreign government bribing him, period. Goes straight into his pocket. But if you think that bribe is big, the Hill also reports the Saudi government has also invested $2 billion with Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner. The Crown Prince said last year that Kushner's private equity fund would not be affected by a second Trump term. So that money is going to keep flowing to Trump no matter what, and maybe a lot more to come if Trump and Kushner are good boys and they let them kill any American journalist that they like. Okay, so by the way, to be fair to Trump, he did have criticism for someone regarding Saudi Arabia. Let's find out who it was.
Biden goes over there and he fist bumps. You don't fist bump. You go over there and you do it right. You shake a hand or something. You hug. You do. But it could never be great with a guy like Biden. Could never be. I don't even think it would be good with Kamala.
So the big problem isn't your son-in-law taking $2 billion or you taking a direct bribe from the Saudis. It's that Joe Biden fist bumped the Saudi crown prince instead of hugging him. Wow, I think you got him, Donald. Anna?
Yeah, I'm sick of all of this, and I'm sick of politicians being far more concerned about doing what's right for them as opposed to doing what's right for, in most cases, the American people, in this case, for the international community, sanitizing and laundering the reputation of a man who literally ordered the murder and decapitation of Jamal Khashoggi, a US resident, Washington Post journalist. Remember, Trump was the one who provided cover for that. He was the one who wanted to prevent MBS from facing any consequences for that.
That's right, and in the past he said, the Saudis give me $30-40 million for my apartments. Am I not supposed to like them? In other words, I don't care if they chop you up. I don't care about protecting American citizens. As long as these sons of bitches keep bribing me, I'm gonna let them chop up any American they like. Remember, Israel first, Saudi Arabia second, America third, well, Russia. So America fourth, okay? Wow, what a populist you are, Donald Trump. Which leads us to Trump brackets. We're at the final four now, we're calling it the foulest four. 4 disgusting things he's done, narrowed down from hundreds by our audience. The voting's at TrumpRackets.com. This one's only open 24 hours, so you got to go vote. Last ones were thrilling. Did the murder of his vice president or the attempted murder that he didn't mind make it into the final 4? Well, let's find out. So first one is called for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles in the Constitution versus engaged in a scheme to use fake electors to overturn the election results. Well, that's a super tough one, because one is trying to overturn the election results by using fake electors that were not even his own real electors. That's just a coup attempt. But the other one is, while we're in the middle of the coup attempt, I'd like to terminate the Constitution. How do you make that decision? I don't know. You guys are gonna have to make that tough call at TrumpRackets.com. I'm not sure how I'm voting on that one. And then the other half of the final 4 bracket here is threatened to target his political opponents if reelected, and impeached for refusing peaceful transition of power. That one is specifically about the non-peaceful transition where they did the riot on January 6th, etc. So there's different parts of how he planned the coup that made it into the final 4. The murdering of the vice president did not make the final 4, or him saying he didn't mind it. But in case you missed the threat to his political opponents, he says it in many different ways. Here's one of the ways that he said it.
But wouldn't it be terrible to throw the president's wife and the former Secretary of State? Think of it: the former Secretary of State, but the president's wife into jail. Wouldn't that be a terrible thing? But they want to do it. So it's a terrible, terrible path that they're leading us to, and it's very possible that it's going to have to happen to them.
It's going to have to happen to them, whether they committed a crime or not. He mentioned no crime. Every time he talks about arresting his political opponents, he never mentions a crime. And what is this thing about nobody's threatening to arrest Melania Trump? I've never heard that in my life. That's him saying, Joe, if you don't watch yourself, I'll arrest Jill Biden, the person you care most about. He's such a thug makes him sound too cool. He's one of the worst people, and right now he currently small lead in this election, unreal. Anna, thoughts on these?
No thoughts.
Okay.
All bad.
Yeah, all bad, all very bad. You guys get to decide. TrumpRackets.com. Last thing is, remember in the beginning we did a contest and somebody's going to win $1,000. Whoever gets the most right answers, and there's 10 people easily within contention right now as we're in the foulest 4, and so 3 are leading at 86, but many people close behind. So your votes are also going to determine who's going to get this $1,000. So TrumpRackets.com, we appreciate you guys. And thank you for coming up with the game in the first place. If you enjoyed this video, that's because of our members. They make us independent, they make us strong, and they make us honest. Become a member today by hitting the join button below.